Welcome to Lady Vibe, your podcast for better well-being. This is your co-host, Dr. Ning. Today, we have the pleasure of getting our old friend, Mrs. Jennifer Sherman, a fitness expert, back to our studio to help us answer some important questions related to weight training.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be back and answer all your questions.
Thank you so much. As many of you have known that I started my weight training journey with the inspiration from Jennifer about 3 months ago. And you all have to be proud of me because I got 3 other friends to do weight training with me. They are totally beginners and everybody's loving it. So, but it's just like anything when that we kind of succeeded with the most difficult part to start, and now we're 3 months in, and I feel like we're reaching a plateau.
Okay.
Like I lost 5 pounds, but during the past 2 weeks, I'm at a plateau. Like I did not advance more. So Jen, I want to know a little bit more about like how can we overcome this stage, like to keep progressing.
Of course. So plateaus are very normal. We plateau in business. We plateau with relationships sometimes. We plateau with our weights. So plateauing, I think, is a big part of life sometimes. And we have to remind ourselves that consistency is everything. So our body wants homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
So you start a new routine and then our body reacts really well to it. And we're like, down 5 pounds, party, this is great. And then our body says, okay, now we're used to this exercise. We're used to this routine. Hold it here. Okay. And the biggest thing you have to do is just keep going. Your body will respond. So as frustrated as you might be, thinking that your body is stagnant and not changing, keep moving and your body will respond.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's as simple as taking a deload week, which means maybe you take a week just to do yoga or Pilates and focus on your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you take a week to do hiking and biking and swimming and something totally different just to relax your body a little bit more and be ready to get back into the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very helpful. And I have to agree, everything can reach a plateau in life. So sometimes we make a big stride forward and then we have a small step backward, but overall we're progressing. So I'm really committed to continue this journey.
You're doing great. And honestly, when you recruit friends, it makes it a lot easier to do it. It's you are accountable to other people.
Yeah.
It inspires you to help each other become your healthiest versions of yourselves.
Yeah.
And like you were telling me earlier, to really do the research and find out more about what you can do.
Right. I definitely feel a lot more responsibility now since Rachel and I did this podcast. I feel like we have to do what we are promoting, trying to get other people to do. And it has been proven to be effective. I was telling Jen, I found some old journal, like from 10 years ago, like I was trying to lose weight and then it did not happen. So like, this is really the right time. So, but back to like the weight training part, Jen, I feel like we have been doing like similar exercise for the same like muscle groups every week. Like what are your recommendations? Like should we change out more, and then like how do we achieve the optimal effect for the building the muscle? Like do we I know that we probably need to increase weight from time to time, but when will be a good timing to do that?
Sure. So there's something in the fitness world that we call newbie gains. So the beginner gains. So when you haven't been exercising and you get into that routine, you start to notice the changes rather quickly. Then we hit a plateau, or then we start doing the same thing over and over again for a year. So my general rule of thumb is, first of all, 3 months is great. It's not that long.
No.
So we have to put in the time, and you're going to see the big differences.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few things you can do in order to change up your routine. Mm-hmm. Doing the same muscle groups is not a bad thing at all. You can change up your tempo, so you can slow down the lifting. And you might want to count up for 4, down for 1, up for 4. And this can put a different tension on your muscle instead of just going up, down,
Right.
whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
You can also change up the exercise for the muscle group. You can change the speed, the power of it. I like to tell people probably about every 10 to 12 weeks, I'm shifting to a new focus on my goals. So currently, I have 4 weeks left of my own 12-week program where I'm focused on strength.
Okay.
And so I'm really trying to build my strength up. After these last 4 weeks out of my 12 weeks, I will be doing power. So I'm still going to be lifting really heavy, but my focus will be sprint training and power also for 12 weeks. So I like to say every 8 to 12 weeks, you might want to shift things up.
Yeah.
This keeps you from getting bored.
Right.
And
Make
it also
fun.
allows your body to try something new. And that new stimulus might be all it takes to really get, I'm out of this plateau now.
Right. Right.
I have a question. So for people that have been, like you said, at it for a long time, I have been learning about the concept of time under tension. So can you describe sort of what that is for this audience and how to focus on that, right? Because that's been my biggest learning over the last, let's just call it 60 days. I've done a lot of HIIT classes. I've done Zumba. I've done swimming. But my latest has been newbie gains in reformer Pilates. And I'm like, ooh, I look good. But, I'm almost 2 months in and I'm starting to see a plateau with that. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Time under tension is a big weightlifting term because when you're under tension and you're lifting the weights, it's about how much time you're spending in it. Your body doesn't know, I did 10 reps, time to stop. So generally to get into weight training, as you guys have all done, it's like 3 sets of 10 reps. 3, 10, 3, 10. And the truth is you change up the tempo, and that's the time under tension. So maybe you were asking earlier about when do you know to lift heavier weights?
Right.
That could be, all right, this week for the next 3 weeks or so, I'm going to grab 5 pounds more than usual, but I'm only going to go for 5 to 8 repetitions. That's your time under tension. It's different. Okay. So it's really shifting up the reps and the sets and adding that weight. And there's a benefit to doing lots of repetitions, and there's a benefit to doing a few repetitions.
Right.
So you want to switch it up. You don't want to do the same thing all the time.
So I did see some people in the gym, like they lift like really heavy, but they do like several sprints, like just several jerk, like
Sure.
the pulling
They
thing,
might go
like
very fast.
Very fast, like just do several. And then, so what is the like difference in outcome for like doing more reps but with lower weight?
Right. The difference is, are you going for power or are you going for strength? Our conversation is for the 35-plus-year-old woman, where don't go for fast right now because life is fast for us. Okay. Life is go, go, go at this time in our life, which is a stress. And then again, we've talked about before, exercise is also a stress on your body. So I generally will say, especially to a new person in the gym, you want to go slow, go heavy, go slow, because you want your form to be perfect. If you start speeding up, then we're in an area where we could potentially hurt ourselves without meaning to, because we're moving so quickly that our form could be thrown off.
Right.
So unless I'm standing there in the gym with you to say, let's pick this up, just go slow.
Yeah.
Add some weight, challenge yourself. You know what? If you say, I want to try to lift even heavier today, and you only get 2 repetitions in, that's pretty amazing. You just challenged yourself.
Right.
That's good.
And then I feel like to prevent injury, like we have to know when to stop, right? Like when I try heavier weights, like 5 reps in, I felt really tired,
Mhm.
so I stopped because I did not
Right.
want to hurt my.
So this can be a
Joints.
tricky subject because again, if you don't have a personal trainer who
Mhm.
understands biomechanics
Mhm.
very well next to you,
Mhm.
then I understand the desire to stop.
Yeah.
What I see mostly in women over the age of 65
Mhm.
is they didn't grow up exercising. So I think if you are a type of person who didn't grow up doing any kind of athletics, you don't understand that some hurt
Mhm.
is actually a positive
A
thing.
good thing.
And so it depends. There's a difference between injury and hurt and pushing yourself.
Right.
So sometimes when you're pushing yourself and you're exhausted, that's exactly what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to stop, and this is why I always like it when people watch themselves in a mirror, you stop when you notice, let's say you're doing a shoulder press and you're pushing heavy weight. If all of a sudden you're doing 5 reps really perfectly lined up, and then this next rep you're like this and you're out of balance,
giving up.
then you know, time to stop, time to put my weights down.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's more what you're looking at. Maybe you have the first 5 or 6 reps in its perfect form and it's, oh my gosh, it's hurting. It's so painful. But your form is great. And you're like, I'm just tired.
You can still hold it.
Right.
Hold the form.
And you're just tired. That's different from, oh, now my elbow's in the wrong position. Now I'm pushing my hand in the wrong way. And then that could lead to injury. So it is about understanding your body and understanding the difference between injury and pain and fatigue. Yeah. Rachel?
Yeah. So, speaking to, connecting the dots on preventing injury and, let's just call it, what are recommendations as far as that appropriate mix goes for strength training days for a beginner? Let's do a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced versus cardio, right? Like what should that look like? And let's just call it someone who is new, sort of been in the gym for a while, intermediate, advanced, for over the age of 35. What do you recommend?
So first of all, the research is showing, if you look up, there's a PhD, a Dr. Mike Israetel, who talks a lot about time under tension and how much time we actually need in the gym. And the truth is, if you can get into the gym at least once a week, that's excellent. It's a good start. Twice a week is going to be much better than once a week, significantly better. 3 times a week is even better than twice a week, but actually anything over 3 times a week has minimum benefits and minimum gains, minimum benefits. So generally, now that I turned 40 last year, I actually really only lift 4 times a week. And that's just because I like my split and how I do it. It fits into my routine. But when I'm speaking to a newbie, I'm telling them, I just worked with a client who has MS and he needs to get back into the gym, ex-military. He's trying to get back in. And I said, twice a week for 30 minutes tops. That's all you need. Total body 30 minutes. Don't overdo it because again, your body might be housing something and like MS, God forbid, but for him in particular, it's that if you add too much stress, it's going to flare up. Yeah. So there might be other things that each individual body is housing that you could potentially flare up by overdoing the stress of exercise. So I always tell people, even if you're advanced and you've been able to weight train your whole life, but you've taken a break, go in slowly. You're going to see big benefits in the course of a few weeks, and then you can adjust it from there. So I generally will tell people twice a week for 30 minutes. Now, if you're an advanced lifter, I'll say, probably 3 or 4 times a week, depending on if you want to do total body or if you want to split up body parts. And you still don't need more than 45 minutes.
I have a question about that because right now we typically spend like an hour to an hour 10 minutes doing weightlifting in the gym, and we don't even feel like that's enough. Sometimes we don't even get time to like stretch at the end. How can you? I mean, we try to do I guess whole body, like we do upper body and then also do some legs.
And you're going twice a week?
And then some core. Yeah, I've been going twice a week, and then I want to add one for the weekend, moving forward. So how can you accomplish all those within? And then also, like, I learned that, like, my son told me that, like, in between reps you need to rest, like, for a minute, right? Like, how can
probably
you,
2 to 5 minutes.
how can you do enough
So-
in 30 minutes?
First of all, our definition of enough, we're pushing ourselves. We're like, oh, I got to do more and more and more. So we almost have to change that perspective of how much do we really need? You know, you might just focus on one major exercise per the 5 body parts I told you to focus on originally in our original conversation. So a squat, a deadlift, a chest, a back, and a shoulder. Okay, that's 5 things. Maybe pick one exercise per body part and do 4 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions for each one. When you are lifting heavier weights, so you challenge yourself, you want to have proper rest in between. You might not feel like you're out of breath and you need it, but in order to have the energy in your muscle to challenge yourself to keep lifting heavy, that rest is important.
And how much should I rest in between reps?
So it depends on the exercise, and it depends on what your focus is. Is your focus power or strength? Currently, I told you I'm working on a strength program for myself. My rests are at least 2 minutes in between. And I use my watch.
Between reps or between exercise?
Between each set.
Each set.
So I will do maybe, for example, 4 squats, 4 heavy front squats. I will have my watch and I will rest for 2 minutes before I go back in and do more.
Oh, okay.
And I will rest. I will tell you, in my 20s and 30s, no way. I was like, I feel fine. And now I still feel fine, but I'm like, I know better. I'm going to slow down. And again, it takes the stress off your body to really see those changes.
Yeah.
It's more of a like, oh, I got to do more. I got to do this. And really just breathe. You don't have to do more.
Yeah.
You're okay.
And strength means that you add more weight.
Yeah. So our goal really for longevity is to be strong. And the more muscle you have, the stronger you are, the more you protect your bones.
Right.
So
and the less likely you'll fall when you're old.
The less likely you'll fall. Your balance should hopefully be better. Okay. Your core should be stronger. You're protecting your bones. So hopefully they're not brittle. And then you want to challenge yourself to lift heavier weights. And again, everybody has a different heavy.
Yeah.
I did hear something funny. Sorry, Rachel, I'll get to you in a second.
Go ahead.
I listened to a woman, and you know, we're all women here. And she said, when you're in the gym, you should be lifting heavy enough that it sounds like you're having an orgasm in the gym. You're having intercourse in the gym because you're pushing so hard. Okay, so laugh a little. Maybe go with that. Like, okay, if I'm not like grunting in it, heavy enough. I don't know.
I'll try that tomorrow.
Try it.
I did that today at Pilates, and they looked at me like I was crazy.
You know what? Give yourself a pat on the back. That was good. Okay, Rachel, what was your question?
My gym orgasm was great.
It's all a woman needs. It's all a woman needs.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about strength training, but there's a lot of focus right now on step counting. So can we talk about, if we, let's just say hypothetically, have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday weight training schedule or strength training or something like that, maybe instead of strictly strength training, it's, Pilates or something like that. On those rest days, does that mean that you should still be getting your steps?
On every day.
Okay.
Lifting days, non-lifting days, movement is key. Yeah. Now, 10,000 got put out there into the universe. I believe it was Malcolm Gladwell's rule of 10,000 in his book Outliers. I think that's where it came from. I could be off. But 10,000 isn't really the magic number. I think now the studies show that you need at least 8,000. And that's just for movement, just for every day. So even on lifting days, you want to make sure you're getting up and moving A lot of times, especially if people are trying to lose weight, their calorie count is lower and then they're exercising, they're going to have less energy. And then if you have less energy and you're sitting on the couch and you're not moving as much, you're not going to have the benefits that you will if you actually still force yourself to move. You might want to eat a little bit more so you have the energy to move around a little bit, because that also, the movement is necessary for our bodies.
Yeah, I think walking is an everyday thing. There's no on and off days.
Yeah.
And then I try to do like 20 minutes cardio before I do the weightlifting. Do you think that is overall beneficial?
If it makes you happy.
It does.
I don't think that you need to add that cardio in at this point in our life. If it's a warm up and it gets your mind to shut off after a long day of work, then it's wonderful. Okay. And maybe that's what you're using it for. I think cardio has been overused, saying that cardio is the way you burn fat. Don't forget that weightlifting is a form of cardio. Your heart rate elevates. If the cardio you're doing before you weight train is taking away from the strength in the gym with the weights, then you're detracting from your goal. So perhaps if you want to do that cardio, that 20 minutes of cardio, that could be done at a different time in your day.
Okay, I try to use that as a kind of warm up.
Yeah, and again, if that's the way to get your mind right and say, okay, this is my routine, and now I know I'm about to go lift and exercise, then that's fantastic.
But not necessary
It's
to
not
achieve the
necessary.
optimal outcome of the weightlifting.
No, in fact, you want to make sure you have enough energy for the weight training, the proper weight training, to get the extreme benefits.
Yeah, but like, what kind of warm up do you do before you do weight training?
So good question. I actually have a couple videos from your question originally where I show some mobility drills and where I'm showing how I use my body and I do mobility, hip mobility, ankle mobility, in before I start lifting, just to warm my body up. My warm-up sets before my work set is my warm-up.
Oh, okay.
So let's say I'm working on front squats. Before I get into my heavy set, I'm using lighter weights and I'm warming my body up with the lighter weights, but I'm actually doing the exercise I intend to do to warm up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I also heard that from my son who is also doing weightlifting, that I should do a warm-up set before every set.
I do 2 warm-up sets before I do my working set.
So 2 warm-up sets, maybe like 3 real sets with the weights.
Yes, anywhere from 3 to 6. So I just recently finished a routine of 2 sets of heavy 8 reps, then 2 sets of 6 reps with more weight, and then 2 sets of 4 reps with even more weight.
Oh, okay.
And that was my working set. It takes a long time because I'm taking 2 minutes in between each one.
So that's your one day of work.
Yeah, that would be the way I was lifting that day.
Yeah, and I also saw that like in the videos you shared, like you were focusing like one week you were focusing on the hamstring,
right,
and then some other week you were focusing.
Yeah,
so you have different focus.
I actually focus total body every week, but the videos I post, I'll post different things like a whole week of hamstrings to show people that there are 100 different exercises you can do for the body part. So to your point, if you feel plateaued or bored, there are different methods you can use to hit the same muscle group, but to change it up a little bit so you're not bored, and maybe to hit a different angle of that muscle.
Yeah. So it's better to do a whole body workout for each.
If you're exercising twice a week or 3 times a week in the gym, total body is good.
Total body. Touch up on all the 5 main body parts.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
I like it. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So what about the people that are coming off of being a workoutaholic, right? So a lot of people, I feel like me, I have actually learned how important rest is. And it's just like, I literally just like, I love working out so much that I'm like, no, today you're just going to walk. So any tips and tricks for people that are trying to change their mindset around not needing to work out every day?
Yeah. So this is the bulk of women around our age. And I'd say like 40s and 50s, really, because they grew up in the time where it was the 90s supermodel look, where
Yeah.
they just wanted skinny, skinny, skinny.
Yeah.
Which is unhealthy. It can be unhealthy. I work mostly, when I work with people like that, it's more about working yourself mentally to understand, like you were saying, rest and recovery is the only way I'm going to see the benefits. And giving yourself permission to slow down and say, it's okay if I'm only going to the gym this amount of time. It's okay if today's a day for yoga. That's why, though, I never walk into the gym without a plan. I have a plan for every week for 12 weeks and then switch. I know what I'm doing all year. That's crazy because I've been doing this for, since I was 15, and I don't expect everybody to do that. But if you can go into the gym for that week and understand, okay, I'm going in 3 times a week. This is my routine. This is what I'm hitting. It makes it easier for your rest days to be your rest days.
Right.
You're not going to wake up and be like, is today a rest day or should I go to the gym? So you want to give yourself that planned schedule ahead of time. And that helps with the mental ability to say, let me just rest. Let me recover today. And on those recovery days, to your point, you're walking. I meditate probably anywhere from 20 to an hour and a half every single day. So finding time to do yoga, meditation, walking, and giving yourself that permission to say, this is how I'm going to be my best self, that can help you too. But it's a mental battle. And eventually you start feeling so good about those days that it's a lot easier to do.
Oh, the struggle's real. I'm literally already
It's real. And you're not the only one, Rachel. Most people I work with, that's their struggle, is I have to say, you are overdoing it. You're taxing your body so much that your body's inflamed because of the added stress it doesn't need.
Right.
And so if you really want to see those benefits, just like trust me for a few weeks and give yourself a break, and then you'll know how great it feels. But you've got to take a step back before you can move forward.
Yeah. And I also super agree with what you said, have a plan. And that's what I'm going to do from now on, to have a plan for myself and then also like for my friends. Like, so we because they kind of follow me. So I need to have a plan so that we can all, achieve our optimal outcome. So and then in terms of eating, right, it is like if you do more exercise, you feel hungry. So I guess from what I heard just now, like it's okay to eat more to keep your energy level up, right? If you feel extremely weak, because of the lack of calorie, that's not healthy.
Right. So our intention is sustainability and longevity, right? Everything in life that we want to achieve for most people is, how do I live my best, healthiest, longest life? Okay. I tell my kids I'm on the 200-year plan. I plan to live for 200 years. I'm not even a quarter of my life through. That's pretty awesome. But that means every single day, and I'm not kidding, again, I'm crazy, but I wake up with the intention to think, well, what do I have to do today for my body and my mind and my spirit to be the best? I need to stretch. If today's a lifting day, I need to appropriately exercise the muscles I have planned. And I need to move my body. I need to write. I need to read. And so it's more about, what are your long-term goals and how do you really intend each day to do? So having a plan, having a game plan. What time do you want to wake up in the morning? We've talked about sleep hygiene. Going to bed at the same time. What's your intention in the gym the next day? Or is the next day a rest day? Is the next day a sprint, hit day, reformer day, which are very, very valuable. So make that plan. And again, I like to see several weeks out in advance, because mentally I prepare myself, especially if there's a sprint day coming. Like I have power and sprints coming up in 4 weeks. You better believe every morning I'm like, okay, oh my God, in 4 weeks, I'm about to be on the ground, crying, sweating, like, oh, I hate those days, but I know my body needs that. But I have it set intentionally to say, okay,
prepare yourself for
this will be coming up. I'm ready for it. I need it for my health and longevity.
Okay.
So having an organized schedule really helps.
Right. And having that clear goal will help you like stick to your plan.
Right.
And also I feel like if you have a plan, then you will have less stress. Because if it's all spontaneous, then you have to, there's too many things to juggle, and then it helps you prioritize too.
Without a plan, you wake up in the morning and you go, should I go to the gym? Or
that would be my old me.
Right, the old you. I like that. Think about it. In life, the most successful people have plans. You are successful in your job, and there are certain goals and certain deadlines you have to hit. Yeah. So what do? You work backwards. Okay, well, I need this done by a certain date. Right. Here's where I got to start. And each day I'm going to focus a little bit more on that. Same thing with your children. Okay, well, they have to study for an exam. Okay, well, let's teach them. How do they get ready for their exam? What do they have to do each day to prepare themselves to study? Same thing for us in the gym.
Yeah.
And for our food.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what should I have in my pantry so when I'm really, really hungry, I'm reaching for something more beneficial than for something that's going to sabotage my goals, because I keep sabotaging myself. All right, well, I got to buy different things.
Yeah.
Or right before I go to my fridge, I'm going to take 5 deep breaths and think, am I really hungry? What am I looking for? Those are different ways to be mindful. And that's why I think adding breathing techniques, adding meditation, and daily mindfulness habits just help overall lower stress and help you make good choices in very tough, stressful times.
Oh, that's so true. Be mindful and be intentional.
Yeah.
I think.
So here's the struggle that I think I've seen my friends have that do these, different specialty classes. They don't always let you know what the class is going to be until you're there.
Right.
And so for somebody that's doing, let's just call it programmed exercises, be it, I don't know, like an Orange Theory or a group training at Lifetime or something like that. Like, are there ways, and maybe it's what you said, you can do total, a lot of those are total body, right? So if you're doing total body, is the right algorithm Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Is it Monday, Thursday, Saturday? Like I'm sitting here thinking, like, what is the right mix for somebody that's very alpha, that's like just very, very trying to check the box but not overdo it? So what are your thoughts on that?
This is where the planning comes in handy. So if you have a busy week where you will be traveling, or you're maybe traveling in 2 weeks, you're thinking ahead to say, okay, well, next week, these are the days I can hit the gym. That might be 3 days in a row. Yeah. That might be. So you're thinking ahead so that you get your 3 days, but they might not always be perfect each week. So that's more of I'm going to think ahead, and I'm going to see in my schedule what makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And also thinking, well, next week is an extra busy week, or I have traveling, or I'm going to be up late for something for work. So it's going to be twice that week, not 3 times.
How much does like stress and emotional processing play into body change?
Everything. Stress is everything. Stress is our number one killer.
Yeah.
That's why.
I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a yogi saying where it's, everyone needs to find 20 minutes a day to meditate. And if you don't have 20 minutes, you need an hour.
Yeah.
Because you're showing yourself, no, you have time. And that's the priority. So I think especially for women our age, we really have to understand that life is full of ups and downs. It's full of surprises. It's full of stressful things. It's full of things during your day that you're like, oh, I planned on that, but then that didn't work. That's okay. Why is that surprising us still? That's literally happened all our adult lives. So now, how do we breathe through it? How do we refocus it? How do we tell ourselves mentally, it's okay, I'll take a step back today?
But Jen, you have 3 kids, and each of them has like sports.
Yeah.
And everything. Where did you find that? I had 20 minutes to to
I just want to say
an hour to do meditation.
I have 3 kids in 3 different schools this year and 5 different sports.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear more about how you.
Yeah, I do too. I don't have any kids, and I'm like, how does she do it?
It's not easy because I also want to make sure that there's food in my house and dinner on the table for my kids.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that each day is easy.
And you're working full time.
I work full time.
And there's a side job.
I get home from work and I'm a chauffeur. And so but the truth is, in my mind, years ago, the first week that I had to do where all my kids started sports, I was exhausted and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the next 10 years of my life. It was like, it hit me. Like, then I realized, okay, I'm shifting my mindset. How lucky am I that I'm the one who gets to drive my kids mostly to their sports. Now I do create carpools and that is a lifesaver.
Yeah.
But I really actually tell myself each morning, I'm so lucky that we all woke up this morning.
Yeah.
That we have food on our table.
And we're healthy.
We're healthy, thank God. And I get to drive them around. So I get to have these conversations with them. I get to do carpool pickup. And someday that's not going to happen. So this just happens to be the busy season of my life because all parents go through that season.
Right.
This is my season right now. There's nothing I can do about it. But the best thing I can do is how do I handle it? So I wake up early. I get to the gym 4 times a week. Then sometime throughout my day, if I went to the gym that morning, so if I don't go to the gym that morning, I still wake up at the same time, but I'll do a yoga and meditation in my house before I shower and get ready. On the days I go to the gym, I make sure I find time during the day, lunchtime or at night when I'm picking up the kids in the car, I can do a meditation.
In a car?
In the car, I might sit and
Ow.
while I'm waiting to pick them up. Not while I'm
Okay.
driving.
I was really thinking about driving.
Or if I get to my kids' practice early, then I have a yoga mat and a blanket in my trunk. I'll pull that out. I will do yoga at the soccer field waiting for my kid.
I mean, why not, right?
Why not? I'll use my time wisely.
Yeah.
So I will make time. Now, listen, I have a time limit on my social media. So I'm not sitting there scrolling.
Yeah.
I have a goal to read at least 10 pages a day, usually 50 pages a day in a book. So anytime I have the tendency to want to pick up my phone and scroll, I pick up my book instead. Anytime I'm standing in line, I either try to be mindful in breathing techniques or I have a book so that I'm not grabbing my phone. I also don't really watch TV. So there are certain sacrifices I make because I like to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night. There are certain sacrifices I make that I choose because I plan to live till 200. So if I'm going to live till 200,
you're going to be the longest living woman in the world.
I hope so.
And Rachel and I will be proud to know that woman.
Okay, wait. But for people that don't know, like, your childhood and your upbringing and kind of like what drives you, like, I'm just curious, like, you know, I'm alpha in my own way, and I feel like you're alpha in multiple facets of your life.
You're triple alpha.
Like you're all in. You're very disciplined. So, what would you say is your biggest driver for, you know, getting like following the discipline plan? Because I think we can all get better about that.
Yeah, and again, what I do is extreme, and I don't expect. That's just who I am.
I think it's great. Like, I want to be more like you.
my thought is somewhere along the line, I was not always like this, okay? I consider myself a type B personality. Somewhere along the line, I shifted.
Okay.
And I think it's just the more I read, the more I understood that everything's in my control. How I handle things, that's up to me.
I like it.
I don't judge anyone else for doing what they want. I am literally doing what I want and feel is best because I want to see how that works for me.
You're self-empowered.
Yeah. And like, I don't care. I'm not trying to say, oh, you should do this because it doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So every single day though, I'll tell you my biggest driver is kids don't listen to what you say, but they will watch what you do.
Right.
And I am a high school teacher. So it's not just my 3 children. It's 180 students of mine who see every single day, how do I manage my time? Maybe that'll impact them 10 years from now, 30 years from now. I don't know, maybe today. But how I treat my daily life needs to be a little bit better every single day so that I can be the best version of myself. And I believe in bringing light into this world in the kindest way. And so I have to treat myself that way. And then I go out into the world and try to really promote that through my actions.
Do you do kind of planning every weekend, or how does that work? Like every month, like just from the perspective of like knowing, you know, the different sports and your workout time and all of that. Like I'll be honest, I try to do mine on Sundays, and I will actually take my work schedule, align it up with the social schedule, align it up with, you know, other family related things. And then I'll say like, oh, that's too much. Let me move this. Or
right.
So how does that look like? And some weeks I'm not always on base. Like this week I had way too many more like morning calls, and I'm like, I'm going to make sure next week I don't do that because I have better energy in the afternoon. So what is that for you in terms of how you plan?
I have my own daily personal agenda that I write out. And then I have a family calendar where it has kids' sports activities after school. And the biggest thing is the weekends. Like I take my weekends just to do yoga and meditation. I'm not going to the gym on the weekends. I have too much going on. I'm not even going to try to fit that in. So I look at, like, we have our big calendar, orthodontist appointments, doctor's appointments.
Yeah, paper.
It's a paper calendar on the refrigerator so that everyone can see what's going on, who has what games over the weekend. I also will say I'm blessed not to have an ADD brain. And so it's a bit easier for me. I know what I have to do. I don't always have to write it down because I don't forget. So I think some people's brains are easier to get distracted. And so like some of my clients who have severe ADD, it's more about understanding that they have to write it down. I write it down out of discipline and practice, but I don't always have to. And I'm okay with that because I remember it. So everyone's brains work differently. So it really depends on understanding your own superpower and your own strength and the tools you need in your life to help you maintain that organization.
Right. Exactly. And then I like, what do you describe to be the best form of yourself and how you get there, you know, like the efforts you put in to get there really strike in my brain, because that's the ultimate goal that Rachel and I, like, that's the goal of our podcast too. We want to empower our audience, our, you know, people who want to work along with us to be the best form of themselves. And then when it comes to health, it comes to like many forms, like not everybody has to be, you know, super toned and super like, to be healthy. So like you just have to find the right formula for yourself, and then put in the efforts and get yourself there. And don't, you know, like, we want to live a long life, but we want to live a productive and healthy life
on your own.
You don't want to get dementia at 60 years old, you know. Your life is ruined, or get
and I will say,
stroke or something, you know.
When I was a child, I didn't learn to read until 5th grade. I believe I have dyslexia, but it was undiagnosed. I'm pretty sure. You know, I really struggled. And 2 of my 3 brothers were readers, and they could gobble a book in a day. And I'd stare at them and say, I wish I was a reader. I wished I was a reader. And about 5-6 years ago, I literally woke up one day and was like, I still wish I was a reader. And then I thought, wait a second. If I want to be a reader, I have to read.
You just got to do it.
And starting that day, because I'm not a person who's like, I'll start Monday. If I come up with something, I'm like, today's the day. Started that day, every single day, I read certain books, and I spent 10 minutes just reading, just simple 10 minutes or 10 pages. And then over the course of a year, I read 150 books. And then I could tell myself, oh my gosh, I'm a reader. I'm now a reader. And so I take that aspect, and again, I learned this as an adult over time. It's every aspect of my life is under my control. If I want something, It's up to me to be that person. And we all have different wants and desires and different things we're meant to do in this world. So again, what I'm doing might not be the best thing for everybody.
Sure.
But that's what's worked for me. And that's how I've been able to grow and help people around me.
I think also your let's do it today is definitely, there's clinical evidence to support that. And there's also, I don't know how many people have listened to Mel Robbins' podcast, but she's got a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Right? Yep. I've seen her speak live, and it's you don't need to hesitate. You need to do the thing. It's like swallowing the frog. You need to do the thing that you're most avoiding, because that is how you grow and progress. And I will be honest, last year I was tasked with a very hard project. I'd never done this. And I would just I was avoiding it. And so it's just like, I had to tell myself, today you're going to start that hard thing, and you're going to give that hard thing X amount of time. And I feel like that can be working out for some people, but it's starting from the beginning. You may be completely new to fitness, but I think, what we've talked about here today with Jen and Ning is just start, right? It is okay to do 1 day a week. There are multiple programs, Couch to 5K, where you just walk. You start with a mile, right? And then you work your way up to that 5K. But yeah, I think these have been really helpful tips today. And I certainly think our audience is going to be not only motivated, but excited to sort of think about how they can implement some of these changes.
Start making their own plans.
I'll leave you with one more thing with that, just 1 day a week. Dr. BJ Fogg wrote Tiny Habits, Stanford behavioral psychologist.
Okay.
Great book. And what I want you to do is, when you go once a week, when you first start, be proud of that. Give yourself a pat on the back and say, I did it.
Yeah.
When you read those first 5 pages of a book, because it was your goal to read just 5 pages, shut the book after that and say, I did it. I did it. I'm so proud.
Love that.
Positive feedback to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. A tiny habit, if you stick to it, it will make a big difference.
Yeah. Little habits every day. They grow.
Yeah. And then I do want to talk more about young women to start, kind of encourage young women to start weight training as well. Later, maybe that's the next episode.
Sure. I would love to. I would love to come back and talk anytime with you guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
You're the inspiration, the light of my life. So I hope all of our audience will be inspired by Jen as well. So let's get on this journey, live a healthy and productive life.
Wait, Jen, and where do you train people? Because if somebody wants to be interested in learning about your training, how do they contact you, and what area are you in?
So I'm out in LA, but actually all my training's virtual now. So it's mostly health coaching and figuring out your life changes that you need to make in order to live your healthiest self. So it's not necessarily in the gym anymore. Typically, my clients end up losing weight by changing certain habits throughout their day and not doing that. So that's more my focus now.
Jen, how do they reach you? Through an email?
You can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. That's how most people reach out to me anytime. And it's Sherman Health and Fitness.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sherman Health and Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put that in the description as well. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jen. And have a happy Lady Vibe Day.
Have a Lady Vibe Day.
Bye.
Bye.